On the 15th of March, the year 1889, 15 years have passed since their fateful encounter. Mrs. Jones is married and found a wonderful husband who is the chief of police. Roger, now a man, is a police officer helping to maintain peace and justice. The reason being he wants to help people who were like him in the past, to change their ways and show them kindness like what was shown to him that he can never forget. During one sunny morning, Mrs. Jones together with his partner are having breakfast. Her husband talking about a certain police officer whom they have grown fond. Mrs. Jones doesn't have any idea that this day she will have a dance with fate.
Here's breakfast, honey.
The husband says, "Oh, by the way, there's this new kid in the office. He made a good impression on me. He's been very good at his job. He also seems very..."
Oh my, well, I think he's a lovely person. I hope I get the chance to meet him in the future.
After breakfast, her husband was in a hurry to get to work. That's why he wasn't able to come along with Mrs. Jones to the grocery store to buy some food and supplies. Mrs. Jones started walking because the store was only 6 blocks away from their house. When she was on her way home, a kid suddenly stole her purse. But with all the plastic she was carrying, she wasn't able to stop the kid. She quickly reached for her phone inside her pocket to call her husband. He told her to wait there and that he will go there quickly as possible. When suddenly she saw the kid who stole her purse coming back, but this time, the kid is with a man, a tall police officer around his 20s. But Mrs. Jones didn't know that that man is Roger, the kid she helped 15 years ago.
Thank you, kind sir, for helping me. Actually, my husband is also with the force. I beg of you, do not arrest the boy. He might have only done it because he had no choice. So please, do not arrest me.
Don't worry, ma'am. I have no intention of doing that. The reason why I came back besides returning your stolen purse is because I want to help this kid. It looks like no one takes care of him, meaning he is all alone. So I want to teach him the rights and wrongs of our world.
I also want to help the kid because I can understand what he is going through. Actually, I met a boy like this kid long ago, and I think that boy was also the same age as this kid during that time. But that's a long story. I think that was also on a sunny day just like this one, but that was way back 15 years ago. So sir, may I just know the reason why you really want to help this young man?
Well, ma'am, believe it or not, I used to be like this kid. I was lucky enough because I met a woman, a great woman, who helped me change my life. Actually, that person was one of the reasons why I became a police officer. I heard about saying that when someone helped you or showed you kindness, the next time you get the chance, you should also do the same. I guess that woman changed my life so much that I just want to help people who are in need and keep them safe. As far as I remember, that was also 15 years ago. I was a kid back then.
A flashback suddenly played to Mrs. Jones' mind, and because of that, she asked the policeman,
Thank you, officer. But before we part ways, may I know your name?
Well, ma'am, I'm not quite sure that I know your reason for asking, but my name is Police Officer Hugh. Roger Hugh.
Hold on a second. The story you were telling a while ago about you being like this kid 15 years ago, you don't happen to try stealing from a lady walking in the same street?
As Mrs. Jones asked, Roger started to wonder about who this woman might be.
Well, shucks, ma'am. As embarrassed as I am to admit that, but yes, I did try to steal from a certain lady 15 years ago. Luckily, that lady helped me. She was the one I was talking about a while ago in my story. Ma'am, may I know, how did you know about that? You know, ma'am, I wish I had the strength to tell her that I am so thankful I met her back then, but I didn't, and I'm afraid that I might never get the chance again.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. I think you might have a chance.
What do you mean by that, ma'am?
It's about that lady we were talking about.
As Roger heard what the lady said, his eyes were as in belief, sparkling as if he saw a shooting star brighter than the whole universe combined.
You don't mean... It's you?
That's me. And yes, you're the kid that I met 15 years ago.
Both Roger and the lady having the same smile on their faces. The one you have with family. After that, Mrs. Jones asked Roger and the kid to go to her house and have lunch. She also texted her husband that she was okay and should meet in their house. A couple of minutes later, her husband arrived and was surprised to see one of his men sitting in front of their dining table. And her husband asked Roger, "Officer, what are you doing in my house? Are you the one who helped my wife?"
Yes, sir, I am. I didn't know that Mrs. Jones is your wife. Do you remember, sir? During my training, you were our instructor. You asked me what's my reason for being there and for aspiring to be a part of the force. I answered you, I want to repay a lady who helped me when I was a kid by helping others. That lady's your wife.
Honey, he is the one who I always talk about. Remember the kid that I helped 15 years ago? And based on your action, he is also the man we were talking about. I cannot believe that all this time we were talking about the same person.
After lunch, Roger and the kid have already left, so Roger can help the kid find a place where the kid would be taken care of. Before they, however, this time Roger with a big smile plastered on his face. Mrs. Jones looking like a proud mother that has seen her son become a man. Roger was now able to say thank you to Mrs. Jones, but unlike the past ending, they did not lose contact with each other ever again.